Okay.
Okay.
So, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, really? That's nice. So,
I hope it's not the call I'm getting from there.
ah, it's a call. Oh, hey, let me off the call. Let me off the call. So you not call me if you are hearing me. Um, Already came to me. What if I keep my call with her on? Then she now route it to them. Is it possible?
Maybe that one too is like a very good idea.
Hmm?
But that is going to like
Let it snake out. Let me call her. Let me call her back.
because your mic is already calibrated. So I know
Hmm.
that
I
going to
don't
be
know
very
why.
issue.
Okay, you wanted to do some technical checks.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. Since we can talk through the phone. Okay, guys. So I believe you can hear me. So we are sorry for all those long delays. We are having technical challenges from StreamYard. So, like you have known, we have had some classes in the past on back end, and this database is one of the back end technologies. I want to lay emphasis on this class, the class that we had where we did table designs. If you look at this table, if you look at the what I have here, this is a table design, which I believe you should be familiar with on how to design a table. So when you want to design a table, you have to pick out the field names. Then you define the data types. Then you put the length, and then you put the constraints. So one of the constraints is primary key, and it's very important, almost compulsory in all the databases that you are going to design. I'm not repeating this class, but I just want to bring your mind to it. That when you now do this, when you run the table, you will now have a design, a framework where you can now put student name, their matric number, their department, semester level, gender, email address for all the students in that class. So what we will look at today is SQL statements. So SQL, which is a structured query language, is a standard programming language designed for managing and manipulating relational databases. The class we had on Saturday, we mentioned that there are two major types of databases. the one we call SQL database, and the one we call no SQL database. The SQL databases make use of relationships, while no SQL database make use of horizontal scaling or spanning. They don't use relationship. So today we want to lay more emphasis on the SQL, talking about the SQL statements. That's what we are going to. That's the topic that we are treating today. So we'll just define what SQL is. That is a programming language designed for managing and manipulating databases or relational databases. So it is used to perform tasks such as querying, inserting, updating, and deleting data in a database. So that's what SQL is for. Then we have different types of SQL statements. SQL statements. The SQL statements can be categorized into the following: data query language, that's the DQL, data definition language, data manipulation language, and data control language. So each category includes specific type of statements for performing different tasks. So this thing, even though we call them languages, they are not as if you'll be writing another programming language. No, it is the same SQL that you're writing. The different names we give them is to categorize them into different activities, different actions that they perform for us. That's what the categories are for. It's not as if they are different languages. So don't think that data query language and data control language are two different languages. No, they are all SQL language. In fact, they are written in the same format. What differentiates them is the action they are performing. The action they are performing. That is what makes them. In fact, they are the same, but just that they are in different categories. So what makes them different is the category of action that they take. That's all. All of them are just SQLs. Let's look at data query language. So these are statements. You can see now, I think what this thing should be called is data query statements, not even data query language. The white man that did it this way, we can't query him, but then I think they need to review that so that for beginners, they will not find it confusing. This is just statements. They are not languages. They are statements under SQL language. So this data query language now is a statement or statements that are used to query or retrieve data from the database. The first of them is the select statement. Oh, these have not changed here. Why? Sorry, 1 minute. I've changed slide, but I don't think you guys have seen. Are you guys seeing the new slide talking about data query language? It has not changed. Okay. So what's the problem? Okay, where I'm talking about is data query language, where I say that the data query language has the select statement as one of the first statements. Are you seeing select statement from your own end? I want to be sure that the screen is changing. Is it changing? Are you seeing the screen? Okay, Grow with God said yes, sir. That means you are seeing my screen. Okay, fine. All right. So the select statement is used to query data from one or more tables. This basic syntax is select, you now call the column names. So you can use column 1, column 2. After the column names, you now put the statement from. You now call the table name. You now put the condition. You just say where you put the condition. Example is given here. Let's say there is a table called employee and we want to select the first name and last name of those employees where their department is HR. If you want to do that, look at the SQL statement that we'll write. You now write select first name, last name, that is first name, comma, last name. If you want to select age, gender, you can be mentioning them using comma to separate them. First name, comma, last name, comma, gender, comma, phone number, comma, email address, comma, home address. After listing the columns you want to select, you now put from, you now put the table name, employees, you now put where, you now define the condition. That is where department is HR. That means if your department is procurement, it's not going to select it. If your department is IT, it's not going to select. It will only select those that their department are HR. I hope that is clear. So that's the select statement from SQL. Next, we have data definition language. So in data definition language, we uh, use that statement because there are statements like I've been emphasizing. Use it to define the structure of a database. All right, so the DLL is used to define the structure of a database, including creating the database, altering it, or deleting the tables. So you can see the first one there is create table. When you want to use codes to create a table, you say create table, put a statement that defines the table that you want to create, the table name, the column, the data type, the column, the data type, including the length. All right, you can see the example there. Create table employees, employee ID, integer, primary key, first name, varchar. Sorry, guys, hold on a little bit. Let me put my device on charge.
It's not charging.
I don't know. This thing is inside the thing. Where is water? Okay, guys, sorry, I'm back. So, talking about the data definition language, the first one there is create. So you use the create to create table. You also use create to create database. But the one of table is more significant because you are going to see these things that we designed here. Let me go back to this design that we talked about earlier. This design, that's what you will be calling with the code. So you call the field name, you call the variable character, data type, you call the length, you call the constraint. So these are the things you'll be writing with code, but this is a visual design. You're going to write it with code when you're creating a table. And that's what we are calling here. That's what we are calling here. So you can see create table, column name, data type. Look at the example. Employee ID is the table name. Employee ID is a column name. Data type here is integer. The constraint is primary key. Then first name is another column, like column 2. Sorry, yeah, column 2. Then the varchar is the data type. 50 here is the length. We have another column, last name. The data type is varchar and the length is 50. We have another one, department. The data type is varchar and the length is 50. So for these ones now, they didn't put constraint on them. What it means is that when you run the code, they all convert to null. Null is the default. But anyone you want that they must put value in, like let's say that this department, they must put information in it. So what you do is to put space and say not null. You put not null. So this not null now would indicate that when you run this code, anybody using this database must fill in the department. So this not null is a constraint. So that's about create table. Now let's look at alter table. So alter table statement is used to modify an existing table. Like you want to add more columns, or you want to remove a column, or you want to change the data type, or you want to change the constraint, or any alteration you want to make on the table, use alter table. So you can see the example given here. Alter table employee, add hire date. The data type of hire date is date. That's why you're seeing date here. It represents the data type. So what happened here is that when we create the initial table here, we did not put hire date. But now, on a second thought, after supervision, the supervisor now say, no, go and add hire date. The guy don't need to start creating a new table. You just edit it. You just say alter table, add hire date. The last of the data definition languages is the one we call drop table. So this drop table is used to delete the table. When you don't need it again, you delete it. So you can see the data definition language, that's the create, edit, and delete. That is create, alter, and drop. So that tells you that as you are doing your database thing, you can create a table, you can delete that table, or you can edit that table. The next is the one we call data manipulation language. So this data manipulation language is a statement that helps us to manipulate data stored in the database. But it's not just to manipulate the data stored, it also helps us to store in the database. So when we create a table, the table is empty. At creation time is empty. Then we are now supposed to be loading data into it. And the codes we'll be writing is categorized into the big name data manipulation language. So the first statement in the manipulation language is insert into. Insert. So this is called the insert statement. So the insert into statement is used to insert new rows of data into a table. Use it to insert new rows of data into a table. You can see the syntax. When we say syntax, we mean the code format, the format that your code have to follow. That's what is called syntax. Insert into, then you call the table name, then you call the columns where you want to insert it, then you invoke values, and then enter the values that will go into that table. Look at the example given here. Insert into employees. You know, we have created employee table in the example of in the slide before this. And like we said, when you create a table, it is empty. So now we want to insert something into it. We now say insert into employees. Employees is the name of the table. Where do we want to insert it? We want to insert it in the employee ID as a column, first name as a column, last name as column, and department. Now these are the values we want to put there. Employee ID 1, first name John, last name Doe, and department HR. So if you write this code, it's going to insert the values into the table. Another manipulation language is the one we call update. So the update statement is used to modify existing data in a table. The syntax is update, call table name, then set, you now call column name value until you set all that you want to edit, and then you now put the condition where this is this. For example, let's update the employee table where we put John just now. To update it, you want to change John's department from HR to finance department. So to do that, we just say update employees, set department equal to finance, where employee ID is 1. So if you look at the slide, if you look at this place where we inserted the first data, which is John, that's the employee ID is 1, which represents John. His department is HR. But we are saying in this command that wherever employee ID is 1, and the person where his employee ID is 1 is John, which is in HR. But now we've said set the department to be finance. So if you write this type of code, it's going to go and change John's HR department to finance. So that is the update statement. Next is the one we call data control statement or data control language statements. So these ones are used to control access to data in a database. Access. Who and who can put something inside this table or read the values on the table. The first statement there is grant. The grant statement is used to give a user permission to perform specific actions on database objects. Grant privilege on objects to user. Do you see how the syntax goes? It's just like a statement. That's why these things are called statements. Learning them is so easy because it's the grammar, the English that we speak every day. You want to give access, you want to give privilege to someone to use the system. The statement there is grant privilege on objects to user. Example, grant, select, insert. So both select and insert are privileges. Insert is to save file on the database. Select is to fish out information from the database. So you are granting this access on employees. So employees is the name of a table, this table that we created just now. And we want to grant that access to user one. So you can have many users. The people that this concerns more are those that administer databases, like database administrators or server administrators. They are the ones that create users and assign them roles. So this is more like assigning role, what each person can do, access to the database. You don't just do database and leave it open that anything can go. No. People can abuse it. Yahoo Boys can connect to it and pick out your data. So you create control of who can and who cannot. But like I said, is the database administrator or the server administrator that does that. They will tell you what to do and you write the code for them. That's how you come in. That's how you are involved. So don't think that it is their headache. So no need looking at data control language. No, you're the one that will write it as a developer. They will tell you what they want, just like any other data requirements that you're gathering. The second statement is revoke. Revoke. Let's say that you have given someone access and the person is abusing it, or the person kept it carelessly and the bad boys got access to it. So you can revoke it by removing that privilege from the staff, or let's say the staff has been sacked or have changed department or role, whatever reason, you can revoke the privilege. The way to revoke it is simple. Just write the same statement. Revoke privilege on objects from user. Example, revoke insert on employees from user one. So what it means here is that user one can no longer save data into that table or database. The last of them is delete. So you can delete uh, row from a table. You can say delete from table where condition. Example, delete from employee where employee ID is one. If you run this code, it's going to remove John. That John that we created that was in the first row. So we have additional SQL clauses. These additional clauses, they are what make your software to be, in fact, if you're writing a full software, you must be making use of them. Because especially when you are doing something that has to do with intelligence or data analytics, decision making, and things like that. So these additional clauses are very important. They occur almost all the time. So long as you're developing a whole software, you encounter them or you will have things to use them. The first of them is where. So this where clause is very broad. It's very broad, it's very vast. So the first there is the where clause. We said that the where clause is used to filter records based on specified conditions. So you want to know students that attended class yesterday. So the where clause there is yesterday. So if you say students that have attended class, it will show you all the list of students that have attended class since we started this project, since last year. And it may not be useful to the person because it will be too bulky. But if you say students that attended class, where, you know, say today. It will just show you the list. Or people that attended class on Saturday. So that's a condition for showing you the record. So that where clause is very important. It's very important. Almost, or I won't say it's the most important. All of them are important. It depends on what you are looking for. Then the B there is order by. Order by. So this order by clause is used to sort the results in ascending or descending order. I don't know if you have gone to any list where you want to check your name and you see that they didn't arrange those lists in alphabetic order. You will have headache finding your name. Sometimes if your name can be there, you won't see it because they clustered it, they scattered it. But if it is organized in sequence, in order, if your name is Bola, you know that you have to check your name where B is. You don't need to waste your time checking the whole list. Just go to B category, you'll find your name there. That's what order is for. So when you do order by, it will arrange it in descending or ascending order for you. Example is given here. Select from employees, order by first name, ascending. ASC means ascending. DSC, DESE means descending. If you didn't put this ascending or descending, it's going to sort them by ascending. That's the default. The next one is group by. So group by clause groups rows that have the same values in specified columns. For example, select from departments, count all from employees, group by department. That long grammar, what it means is that you should count all the departments from employee. That is, let's say that we have 100 employees, 5 is in HR department, 10 is in finance department, 15 is from IT department, and so on. So what this statement will do is to count them like that. It will not tell you, although all of them are in the department column, it will not tell you 5 IT, or rather 15 IT, 5 HR, 10 finance department. So you see it, the number of individuals that make up that class. So that's what group by is used for. And the next here is having. So the having clause is also a statement from the additional clause or additional statements. So the having statement is used to filter groups based on a condition, and you use it whenever you are using group by. You don't use it without group by. If you write having statement when there is no group by, it's not going to work. It will give you error instead. So the example here is select department, count from employees, count asterisk means all, count all from employees, group by department, having count all greater than 5. What this statement means is that when you count the makeup of those departments, like we said, 5 of them is in HR, 10 is in finance, 15 is in IT department. After counting it, you don't just want it to return It's like my screen went off. Let me reconnect it. Okay, sorry about that. I'm back. Well, I'm going to share this document so that you can download it and read it more. You may have missed it from when I was talking about additional clauses. Additional clauses. So the first one I described is where clause. The next one is order by. The other one is group by. Then I'm talking about having. That's where we missed it. So I want to explain this group by because most beginners find it difficult to understand. So this group by is used to assess what you have internally in a particular column. So for example, here I have a code that says select department, count asterisk from employees, group by department. So what this statement here means is that in a department, I have many departments. I want to know how many of them, how many of the departments. For example, I have IT department, I have um, finance department, and I have HR department. Now, let's say that 15 employees are in IT department, 10 is in finance department, and 5 is in HR department. So, but I want the system to count it and give me. So when you run this code, you say go to department. What this code means is select from the department, count all of them, then group them by their department. So it will count every employee that is signed up on that platform and group them according to their department. So you see the kind of result you see here is IT department 15, finance department 10, HR department 5. So that's what group by is used for. Then we have the one called having. So this having is also used to uh, augment what group by is doing. So if after that counting, you don't want to return all the groups in the column, that is in the department column, you can use having to limit it. Like now, this code here says select department, count all from employees, group by department, which is what we have discussed already. Now, the having count all greater than 5. What this means is that after counting, return only those that are greater than 5. What it now means is that since IT is 15, it will return it. Since finance is 10, it will return it. But it is not going to return HR. You know why? Because HR is not more than 5. You see it. So that's what having is used for. Use it to cut down on the values that will be returned. Another important clause here is the join clause. So join is used to combine rows from 2 or more tables based on a related column. We're talking about employees now. So let's say that we have 2 different tables. One is employee performance, which include attendance, blah, blah, blah. Then we now have employee benefits, including their salary, all the dues they give them, like bonuses and all that. These are 2 different tables. But now you want to select from these tables and merge it into one. That will give you the complete information about a particular staff. So you want to select from the benefits table and also select from performance table. So that when you merge it, you can now see, okay, This is this guy, he comes to work every day, this is his salary, this is his bonus, this is department, this is what he has been doing, all in one blow. That is what join is for. When you select, just like if you go to bank, our files are our information are in different tables. There is a table for deposit, there's a table for card, there's a table for your information, the KYC data. All these things are in different tables. But sometimes when you want to get your full details, they will print it. You don't know that those things are coming from different tables. What makes it possible is the join clause. So we have the one we call inner join, which returns records that have matching values in both tables. We have left join, which returns all records from the left table and the matched records from the right table. We also have right join, which returns all records from the right table and the matched records from the left table. Look at the example. Select employees first name, employees last name. So employee now is a table name. Then we now have departments, department name. So departments now is a different table. So we are selecting from employees table and department table. From employees, inner join, department on employees dot department ID is the same as department dot department ID. That means the matching values here is that the department ID must match the department ID in the department table must match the department ID in the employee table. Then it will select the first name and the last name and the department name, though from different tables, but it will put them into one. I'm almost done. I'm done already. 5 minutes. Conclusion: SQL provides a powerful way to interact with and manipulate data within a relational database. So by understanding and mastering the different types of SQL statements, you can efficiently manage your database structure and data. And what we just did today or now is on the statements, SQL statements. So you need to look at them once again, especially these special clauses that we talk about, like order by, group by, and that's the assignment that I will give you, though the assignment may not be marked now, but it's going to be, maybe you will see it again in test or in exam. So if you do it now, it will serve as expo for you when the real exam comes. So I would like you to make a short note. I'm writing it here. So if you have your pen, you can also write it. Make a short note on the following SQL statements. Number one, where. Number two, order by. Number three, I hope you guys are taking notes. Number three, group by. And number four, having. Number five, join. So I wanted to limit it to inner join, but I would like you to read join completely. since you are going into software development, it's important that you know join completely. But my interest is in the inner join. But now you can extend it to left and right join. But what I will give you in the test or exam, God giving us life, is inner join. But it's for your own interest that you know about left and right join. So this is the assignment. Though unmarked, but it will help you to understand the subject clearly when you read it on your own. So make a note of it that you have to write a short. It's not just the note. The note is the one you might submit if I think you should submit it. But for your own reading sake, read it in a place where they will give you tabular examples. For instance, if you are using join now, they will give you two tables, and then when you write the join code, you will see the results. So I want you to do it with a live table. When you are reading it online, read it with the ones that are showing you tables, so that when you write the code, you will see the result, how the result is coming out from those tables. That's the way it will help you to understand it. Though on Saturday, when we are doing practical, we are going to practicalize all these things so that you have a clearer understanding of them. But before then, reading ahead will give you a very strong background so that when we'll be doing them, you will be fully attuned to it. All right, that's the end of the class today. Do have a nice day. Except you have a question, drop it on the comment section. Otherwise, that's what the class is for today. Adurabemi Uduntan said, where will we submit the assignment? I think I've answered that. Just do it and hold on. If I think you should submit it, I will let you know. But this is just for self-read to improve what we have done. Any other question? Any other ask for clarification? Okay, I didn't see any. In the absence of any, then we call the class to a close. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And once again, we apologize for the technical hitch earlier experienced. We promise that the future classes will be hitch-free. Now that we have discovered a solution to it, it's not going to happen again. We now know how to handle it when it tries to happen. So do have a nice day and enjoy the rest of your day. Hello.